Have you ever felt like your body is just fighting against the modern world? You know, like your cravings, your energy levels, they're designed for a totally different life? Well, you're not wrong. Today, we're diving deep into this incredible mismatch between our ancient genes and the wild modern world we've built around ourselves.
I mean, just look at this contrast. On one hand, you've got the life our bodies were literally forged in. Constant, natural movement, times of food scarcity that actually made us stronger, and a diet of whole, real foods. And on the other side, well, that's us, modern life. Mostly sedentary, surrounded by a crazy abundance of processed food, and dealing with a huge rise in chronic disease. That gap, right there, is the puzzle we're going to piece together today.
So first things first, let's really nail down the core problem here, this fundamental conflict that's affecting so many of us.
It all comes down to something called the discordance hypothesis. Now, that's a fancy name for a pretty simple but powerful idea. It says that our genes, which have barely changed in thousands of years, are completely out of sync with our current environment. The world has changed at lightning speed, but our biology, well, it's lagging way, way behind.
Here's a great way to think about it. Our bodies are running on ancient software, right? A program written for survival in the wild. But we're trying to run that exact same software on the hardware of the 21st century. A world of cubicles, cars, and calorie-dense everything. And what happens when you run old software on new hardware? You get system errors, glitches. Only we call those glitches things like obesity, diabetes, and heart disease.
Okay, so if our modern world is the problem, where do we even begin to look for the solution? Well, it turns out we have to look back to the ancient blueprint left by hunter-gatherer societies.
And you know, the amazing thing about these ancestral secrets is just how simple they are. Hunter-gatherer groups didn't work out. They just lived in constant functional motion. They ate real food. And so crucially, they had periods of hunger. That scarcity trained their bodies to be metabolically flexible, able to just switch between burning carbs and fat for fuel, super efficiently. This wasn't some fad diet, it was just life.
This quote just perfectly captures the absurdity of it all. It imagines a paleo patrol of our ancestors wandering through a grocery store, totally baffled by everything. Their epic hunt has been replaced by a shopping cart, a metal bison. It just brilliantly shows how profoundly our relationship with food has changed.
All right, so we've seen the big picture mismatch. Now let's zoom in. Let's get our microscopes out and see what's actually happening inside our bodies when they're under this constant siege.
And to make this really easy to grasp, let's use a little metaphor. Imagine your body is made up of trillions of tiny, bustling cities we call cells. We're going to shrink way, way down and visit one of these cities, Cellville.
Okay, so in Cellville, there's a really important guy named mTOR. He's the city's master construction manager. Whenever a shipment of nutrients, protein, carbs, fats, arrives at the city gates, mTOR is the one who gets the signal to start building. His whole job is to tell the city to grow, to create new stuff, and to store any extra energy for later. He's perfectly designed for a world of feast and famine.
But here's the problem. In our world of 3 meals a day plus snacks, the nutrient shipments, they never stop. The food trucks are always rolling in, 24/7. So mTOR, our hardworking construction manager, is always on the clock. He never gets a break, he never gets the signal to rest, he is just perpetually screaming, "Grow, grow, grow!"
And the consequences for Cellville? They're a disaster. With the command to store always on, these massive triglyceride towers of fat storage just start popping up all over the city. The city's power plants, the mitochondria, they're being pushed so hard they start leaking this toxic pollution called oxygen-free radicals. And this pollution causes inflammation, which spreads like wildfire through the streets. To top it all off, the city's cleanup crew, a process called autophagy, it never even gets a chance to work because the construction crews are always on the job.
So Cellville becomes this dysfunctional, congested mess. It's bloated, it's inflamed, and it's running super inefficiently. And its highways, our blood vessels, they start getting dangerously clogged with sticky plaque. And look, this isn't just a metaphor. It's a pretty accurate picture of how this chronic overload leads to real things like atherosclerosis and heart disease.
It's a pretty bleak picture, I know. But here's the good news. We can absolutely fix this. So let's talk about how to hack our biology using this powerful combination of ancient wisdom and really cool modern tools.
We've basically got 2 main paths for this biological upgrade. The first is what we can call ancient hacks. This is all about using simple lifestyle changes, like fasting and movement, to send the right signals to our genes. The second path is modern hacks. using amazing scientific breakthroughs like new medications and even AI to help restore our body's natural balance.
The simplest ancient hack is to just reintroduce the one thing our modern world has totally eliminated: scarcity. By doing things like intermittent fasting, we're simply stopping that constant flow of nutrient shipments into Cellville. This gives mTOR that much-needed break. The growth signal finally switches off, and the city's cleanup crew, autophagy, can finally get to work clearing out all the junk. Now, on the modern side, scientific breakthroughs are having a massive impact. A new class of drugs called GLP-1 agonists can help people lose, on average, over 15% of their body weight. That's huge, and they work by basically mimicking the natural hormones that tell your brain, hey, I'm full, helping to manage those powerful signals that drive overconsumption.
But, and this is a big but, these modern hacks come with a serious trade-off: the cost. A year of GLP-1 treatment might help you lose 50 pounds, but it could cost you almost $17,000. Compare that to a simple 25% calorie reduction, which can get you similar weight loss while actually saving you about $900 on groceries. It's a pretty stark choice between a high-tech tool and a low-tech behavior. And beyond just individual treatments, technology is also being used to tackle this at a huge societal level. For example, artificial intelligence is being used to optimize our entire food system, helping redirect surplus food to prevent waste and fight food insecurity. It's tackling both sides of the modern malnutrition coin, having way too much and not having nearly enough.
So where does all of this leave us? Let's pull all these different threats together and build a real philosophy for our own evolutionary upgrade.
Here it is, the practical blueprint. Number 1, move like an ancestor. Just find ways to bring natural, varied movement into your day. 2, embrace periods of hunger. Give your cells a break. 3, prioritize whole, unprocessed foods. And 4, use modern tools wisely, with guidance, understanding both their incredible power and their price.
And this, right here, is the ultimate takeaway. The future of health is not about choosing between a cave and a clinic. It's not about rejecting technology to live like a caveman. The real path forward is integration. It's about using the best of modern science to help us live in better alignment with our ancient biology.
Look, our genetic software was written thousands of years ago. We can't change that, but the choices we make every single day, how we eat, how we move, how we use the amazing tools available to us, that is entirely within our control. So the question is, how are you going to write the next chapter?